Okay, I believe my voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we had this facility to select the type of extractor. So we used Tesseract in order to extract the text out of the PDF files. So suppose I click on browse and I go to a particular report. So since I selected Dr. Dang, so I selected Pranav Nagpal. I'm adding his report values to my, patient record so as to show you how the value is processed. So we selected this PDF file. So this is the PDF which I'm taking. Okay. So this PDF belongs to Pranav Nagpal, taken on 12 January 2021, and it has certain values with respect to the blood report. Okay. So this is going to be processed and the text information is going to be extracted using the tool. So now what we did, we uploaded the product. Okay, I'm going to give it a name. So suppose I'll call it as 31 Jan report. And I'm going to upload it. Let's make it as 31 January 2023. Okay, so I uploaded the report. So now what is happening at the backend, that Tesseract is running at the backend. It is processing the PDF file side by side along with the upload. So once the upload is done, it is going to process it. It is going to find out the text elements in the blood report. And we are going to have it uploaded in the database. Okay. I'm going to show you the process.py file as well, how it was being used and how it was being processed. So if I show you, I think I have it here. So here is the project. And this was the first file which was created, process.py file. So here, just for a quick information, what we did. So there were certain functions which we coded here. First one was to remove invalid, not available unit responses. Okay. Secondly, clean the response which was coming out of reading a text file. Okay. Then we have made certain unit lists which needs to be identified out of the PDF file. Okay. We made a structure of some wrong interpreted units. By the virtue of experience, we identified there are certain units when we extract the data from Tesseract, it is not extracted in the same format. So when we sometimes extract from an image, so it might be a possibility that a symbol is written in a form of micro T. Suppose a micro is used, which is very similar to U. So the Tesseract, when it's going to extract, it does not, it does not extract micro in the correct format. Instead, it represents it with U. So we do have to do a lot of changes with respect to the wrong interpreted units. Okay. So we made that. And after identification of n number of problems with respect to the PDF report files, we have written our, codes in order to extract the text, process the data in a proper format. Guys, can you please give me a minute? Just give me a minute. Okay, so guys, so this is how the input data has been extracted out of the PDFs. Okay. And again, so with Python, we have done the processing and extracted the PDF content. Now, the code which I have shown you at the back end, which used Python in order to extract the information, Now the data is extracted in this format. So out of that PDF file, now you can see hemoglobin has been extracted, its value has been extracted, its unit has been extracted, and its range has been extracted. So there was a very big challenge in two diagnostic reports. There were different ranges, and with respect to a range, altogether, the understanding of a test result, depends on the range and what kind of value and what kind of unit is being represented in that report. And two different labs may have different units, different ranges, different value representation. So it was a very big challenge. So hence, after this extraction, what we did, we made this facility in order to edit the test results, sometimes if it is required, okay? Sometimes it might be a possibility because again, we are using a machine, and it might be a possibility that in any of the case, a wrong value has been extracted. So we gave user this facility to edit it, post it gets extracted, okay? Now, so I believe you guys are seeing that whatever is being done, it is not just one API, it's a complete functional tool. And there are n number of operations which are being done, which was well designed with the architecture, okay? With a proper architecture of a product, you guys will be able to create great products. That is what is the idea. And that is what you guys need to gain experience, okay? Now, so we got these values extracted out of the PDF files, okay? So n number of values have been extracted out of it. Now what we can do, the person who is uploading this content, okay, has this facility to approve it, okay? If sometimes it happens that a couple of tests were missed out of a PDF file, okay? So we have that facility to add a test result, okay? So we can add a test result of a person, and once everything looks good, we can approve it. So once we approve, now where we go? We go to a comparison report of the patient, okay? So you guys might have faced the similar issues. When you go to a doctor repeatedly, he do not have any record system, okay? And never he can refer your previous reports and give you that what is the, what is the progress happening. But in a business like diets, in a business like sports coaching, all of these factors are very, very important, okay? And majorly we built this product for the doctors who works with diet kind of, patients and sports patients. So because again, they have to be very, very, they take care of their health a lot. So they need to have a proper progress update of what kind of food they are taking in and how their health is being improved. So now what happened here? So we got this color combination done, which was required by the doctor, because he wanted to quickly identify what is normal, because majorly what happens, sometimes people are unable to interpret the results, what is good and what is bad, and what really needs attention. Though it is displayed in many diagnostic lab reports nowadays, but it is subject to interpretation by a doctor. So with the doctor's insight, we built this product so that we can give user, information which is much more understandable. So we got certain color codes wherein which score is low, okay, which score is improved but still low, which scores needs work, or which test needs more work to be done, okay. Then what test scores are improved from the previous reports and what seems normal. So suppose I tested hemoglobin here. So earlier, suppose on 17/3, hemoglobin was 9.4. On 18th March, hemoglobin was 9.4. Then I did this on 31st January, 31 January 2023. So it is 16.3. So it shows that it is in range. It is in normal range. So a couple of comparisons are being happening. Also, we have this facility to compare between two reports. Okay. Two specific reports can also be compared, as in for the first day when the patient came into the doctor and till date, if we want to show him a complete progress that this is how you have improved so far after taking diet or after taking, medicines from us. So this comparison is being done here. So here also we introduced a facility of comments to explain the person that, okay, this is absolutely normal, good work, you can keep it up. Secondly, with respect to low, we had this is low, you need improvement with some WhatsApp, symbols. People are too used to smileys nowadays. So a product was built in this format, and this was built somewhat like 2 to 3 years back from now. It is not a new product which we made today. This was built 2 years back, 2 to 3 years back. So there was certain information. So a comparative report has been done. Now, there was something like cholesterol. So cholesterol improved from 154 to 230, so which is a higher value, and it is displayed in red format. And the comment is displayed in a way that you need to work on this. So a proper structure has been implemented here. Similarly, LDL cholesterol, which is a direct cholesterol, it is being improving. It is in a dangerous range and it needs to be worked on. So now what happened? So we calculated every individual parameter and we made a technical report out of it. Okay. So on what sections improvements are seen, which means what kind of diet I'm recommending to you and what are the improvements you guys are seeing. So this is what is compared here. After that, what more improvement needed and what are the areas where the patient has to strictly work on. So he has to strictly work on the cholesterol level, on the calcium level, and the serum albumin. Okay. Now, with respect to this report, the doctor prepares a specific diet or a detox or, any specific, you can say, diet for a particular patient, so that all of these things which needs to be worked on can be improved automatically. So, and again, there was an overview of what is normal, what needs attention, and what requires patient's attention. So we made this comparative report. Then the final product is a report sent to the patient so that he can quickly identify. You might have seen in a couple of diagnostic labs nowadays also that they recommend you a diet. Okay, suppose you got calcium less, so they will recommend you can take this food to improve your calcium. So that's the second product which we already built, which recommends the patient about what needs to be done. But this doctor path lab, suppose it is one diagnostic lab, it can compare with its own patient. But the product which we made can have a comparison with n number of diagnostic lab reports. Okay. So a user can also subscribe a product like this, where he can have a complete track of his reports, irrespective of which diagnostic labs he's going to, and a specific diet recommendations he can take and buy in order to improve his health. So that was the objective of the product. Then we have this facility to view the reports which has been generated. So this is my latest report, which is generated 31st January 2023. So I can show the report, I can delete the report. Also, I can have a PDF view of the report. So again, with Django, PDFs have been created with Django, okay, at proper specific places. A colorful PDF with specific font style has been made. So this also has been done in Django. So it's not done in Django. We can consider it is done in Python. All the basic Python functions and functionalities work here. Django is a framework which helps make Python run in a web-based environment. Okay. So a facility of PDFs has been introduced. So now if you see, we have the work scope of a full stack user ID or user interface designer here. We have a Django backend developer can work on the project. Then we can have a data science person who can work on text clustering and text analysis of the data. That can be done. Then there is a cloud person who can work on the project, okay, which means deployment of this particular product on cloud environment. So when it comes to a real-time product or a project, you guys need to know n number of things, okay? And in teams, you can do that, but having an experience is very, very important. So this was a facility which has been done, and this is the final, report which has been sent to a patient on regular basis so that he can review his comparison. he can see his improvement, how he is being improved by this particular doctor. Okay, so I believe this is clear to you guys. Now I'm moving on to how it has been coded in Django. So in the Django, we have this module patient, we have a module patient too. So when it comes to Django, what happens? First, we create models. So initially we created the process.py file to extract the PDF. Then when we made it as an MVC product, which is a model view controller product, so we built models, which means the database integrations happens with model file. Then we have views where all these Python functionalities are coded. The views which you guys were seeing, all the user interfaces which you guys were seeing, are the codes are being done here in Python in this particular format. So if you can see the code is well structured. It has functions, arguments, and everything. So this needs to be learned by you so that you gain the relevant experience of how such product is working. Okay. Now, when the product is done, version control is being done, which I told you that version control is important. So this TM Blood project and multiple versions of this particular product has been managed on GitHub. Okay, this is our private profile. One team is working on it, and there are certain other projects on which you can work, which are available on GitHub with respect to Hackveda. So here, if you can see, a complete step has been arranged, how the errors needs to be solved, what steps needs to be followed in order to make the deployment done. Okay, so this is the version control step, and handling this version control or knowing this version control is very, very important when it comes to making a production level code. And from this GitHub repo, we have synced the repo with our TM Blood report project, which is running on a T2 micro server. Okay, and this is the IP which you guys have already seen it. Okay, and I think we launched it on 23/8/2022. So it is running since then without any troubles and without any errors and issues. Okay, so if you can see, here is the product which is running deployed on a cloud. So this is important that when it comes to becoming a developer, it is not limited to your own technology. You need to know a couple of more things so that you can work in an environment where a complete production ready code can be created and deployed. So this was the sample project which we discussed. Okay. So let me just log out from here for now. And this was one such project, TM Blood, which we made. I will be bringing multiple products for you in this way, which we already built with respect to different technologies, with respect to different groups, so that you guys gain that knowledge that how things are being created and what you guys don't know as of now, what you guys need to know more in order to get things done in this way. Now, moving on to how you can, or what is expected from a professional Django developer, there is one resource which needs to be followed. Okay. And Suyesh, this is for you. I'm going to tag you and I'm going to allot the task to you. What you need to do is you need to go through with the fundamentals. Already a team is working on TM Blood report. I need you to go through with the fundamentals first. Okay. So that I can allot you next project to work on. So here is a reference book, which is known as Building Production Websites with Python and Django. Okay. And specifically what a person need to know in order to build a product like this. This is with respect to Python people. Okay. So this is the latest book recently published in 2022. So this was published on 2nd June 2022, and it's a very nice book for Django professionals. Okay, there is one book with the beginner format also, but it is recommended that you go through with this one, the professional edition, so that you gain that industrial insights within a shorter span of time and you can start working on gaining real experience. So it contains your initial setup with Python, the text editor where you need to write the code, and the Git. Okay, how will you be version controlling the Python project? Second, what you will get into this is about the Docker. Okay, how we use Docker and how you have to use Docker. Use Docker to install Django project. Okay, to install Django and use the basics of Django, which is however it has to be done. Then setup of Postgres. Okay, there is one simple project, bookstore project. You can take any of those projects from us also, but in case if you need help, you can, in order to understanding, how to create basic models, forms, and admin. So it's a good idea to go through with a small project. It does not have a UI. It's a small project which you can publish quickly. And then you can refer our TM blood report project and work on that project, which I have shown you. Okay. But before that, you need to know fundamentals, how things are organized. So this is a good reference which you can take in. Okay. Then they have a basic pages app where they worked with URLs and views, how they integrated methods with URLs and views. Okay. Then they created a user registration page, login, log out, sign up. So it's a good idea. So you will get to have an idea about user registration here. Then how images are being used, how HTML, CSS, JavaScript will be integrated with a Django project with the static assets. So that can be done here. Then there is an advanced user registration with respect to email authentication and various other steps like integration of social media icons and all that, and social login facility, sign up with Google, sign up with Facebook, all that is discussed here. Followed by configuration of emails with the backend. This part is very important. So there is one project on which we want you to work is related to the email service project. So this part will also be important to know. Okay. Then it's a simple project, reviews and basic, which has been discussed here. Image uploads, file uploads. So one such activity which we done in the TM blood project was uploading the blood report and then processing it. So how those file and image uploads work, you can quickly get access here. Followed by how permissions needs to be managed so that your application does not get, logged, or when users are accessing your application, they should not face issues like resource not found or resource cannot be accessed. So that needs to be processed. Followed by, and then there's a search facility. Okay, search, we have done patient search, for example. So how that filtering needs to be done, how forms needs to be created, you'll get an idea here. Followed by security of the application. This is also very, very important. Since it's a web application, it should not get SQL injected. It should not get cross-site scripted. It should not get, click-jack protection you need to include. You need to handle SSL errors. So all of those basic security has to be done on a web application so that hackers cannot hack it. Cybersecurity people can do a pen test on these applications so that you will get to know and you can test on certain security parameters to test whether an application is secure, and hence the cybersecurity professional team members knowledge comes in. But a cybersecurity person is not going to write security codes for Django. This needs to be understood by the Django developer himself. Okay. So it's a good idea that you understand how cybersecurity things are being working, and how will you be integrating security in your application. So this is very, very important when it comes to client application building. And finally, deployment of the application on, it can be done on Heroku. You can deploy via Docker. It can be done on AWS also. We generally use AWS servers, AWS Azure, both of them are used. So finally, the deployment part. So it's a good reference which can be used. And when you are done with this reference by implementing the prototype project out of it, do let me know. So I will be adding you to a proper project, which is either it could be a TM blood project, or it could be a TM diet project, or it could be another project. So I will review accordingly and I'm going to allot you the project. Okay. So Yash, is that fine with you?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to upload this presentation as well as the reference of the book on Trello card, and I'm going to send it to you as well. Okay. So with respect to the Scrum, so my idea of taking this presentation today was, since I had Anish Kumar Jha, who had a presentation of Python, as well as Suyash, to whom I have to assign a new task. Hence, I have got this presentation to discuss. Okay. In further meetings, depending on the different technology and different groups, I will be bringing more insightful discussions like this, so that you guys will have an idea about what kind of products we are building and what products are in queue. We will be discussing client requirements also multiple times, so that you will get to have an idea about what next we are building in. Okay. So for this, let me just allot Suyash. ठीक है सुयश, तो आई एम अलॉटिंग योर न्यू टास्क. ठीक है, implement the fundamentals of Python Django using the Well Vincent book, which I am referring to. Okay, please find the reference book and a video tutorial on the Trello part. So I will make a reference on Trello and I'm going to tag you, okay, so that you have an idea. So do you want to work in the TM Blood project, or you want to work on another project? Fundamentals you have to go through. For TM Blood, we have a recording available. Also, we have a recording of Django e-learning project creation. So you let me know.
सर जो आप बोलेंगे सर मेरे लिए सब कुछ सुटेबल है.
ठीक है, तो आप पहले इसको करोगे. ठीक है, मैं एक वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल ट्रेलो के ऊपर अपलोड कर दूंगा. ठीक है, आपको टैग करके, सो दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट.
ओके सर.
Okay. Okay, and the deadline to get this book done with respect to the prototype projects is around 15 days. So the deadline would be to get it done by or before February 2023. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I have allotted the task to you, and now guys, we are moving to presentation with Anish and Hitha. So first, let's go to presentation with Anish के साथ करते हैं. नहीं, पहले किसका
Good
आएगा?
evening, sir.
Let me check. Give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go with Hitha Shri first. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, one more minute before we move further. Questions? Anybody, any questions? Please raise your hands with respect to my discussions. Any questions with respect to the Python discussions we had? Yeah, Dipti, please turn your cam on and do let me know your question.
So I'm from web development group.
Yeah. What
So
is the
may I
question?
ask?
Yeah, please go on with your question.
So हमें कॉलेज में सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट करना है. हम जो 4 मंथ का इंटर्नशिप वहाँ पे शो करना था, तो ये शो करना है कि 4 मंथ में हमने क्या किया है यहाँ पे. और तो जो भी प्रोजेक्ट हम 4 महीने में करने वाले हैं उसका एक सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट करना है फैब के फर्स्ट वीक में.
तो आप अभी डॉक्टर्स अपॉइंटमेंट का सिनॉप्सिस सबमिट कर दीजिए, जो आपका फंडामेंटल टास्क है. क्लाइंट प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में तो अभी आपको नहीं बता सकते. जब आप ऑलरेडी क्लियर हो जाएंगे सबमिशंस के बाद में, तब हम आपको बता सकते हैं क्लाइंट प्रोजेक्ट क्या है. तो उसमें से आपको देखना होगा कि आपको कॉलेज में क्या सबमिट करना है. अभी आप डॉक्टर्स अपॉइंटमेंट के बारे में अपना सिनॉप्सिस बना के दे सकते हो.
सर पर वो बहुत छोटा है, 4 महीने जैसा नहीं.
4 महीने जैसे का 4 महीने से पहले हम आपको कैसे दे सकते हैं? जब आप 4 महीने तक काम कर लोगे, उसमें जो बनाओगे वो आप अपने कॉलेज में सबमिट कर पाओगे. ठीक है, आप अदरवाइज कॉलेज की प्रोजेक्ट को आप एक सेपरेट प्रोजेक्ट रखिए, उसके लिए आप बनाइए जो भी आपको बनाना है. हमारा देखो कॉलेज के साथ कोई वो नहीं है, ठीक है ना। हमें तो अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स बनवाने हैं जो हमारे क्लाइंट के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, उसके लिए हमने इंटर्नशिप दिया है। कॉलेज के प्रोजेक्ट कराने के लिए इंटर्नशिप हमने नहीं दिया है, तो वो आपका हेडेक है कि कॉलेज में आपको क्या सबमिट करना है, ठीक है। क्योंकि कॉलेज का करिकुलम हम यहाँ पे नहीं रन कर रहे हैं, हम आपको बस कंप्लीशन लेटर दे देंगे कि भाई ठीक है, आपका 6 महीने 4 महीने जितना भी आपने काम किया, जिन चीज़ों के ऊपर काम किया, वो हम आपको स्पेसिफाई करके दे देंगे। बट क्या क्लाइंट प्रोजेक्ट अभी आप आगे करोगे उसके बारे में मुझे खुद ही अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है कि अभी आप क्या कर सकते हो, ठीक है। तो जो अभी आप कर रहे हो, जितना बना चुके हो, उस बेसिस पे आप दे सकते हो उसको, आगे आप कंटिन्यूएशन में डाल देना, उसमें और 2-4 पेजेस बना लेना, डेटाबेसेस इंटीग्रेट कर लेना, आप ऐसा कर सकते हो।
ओके सर।
ठीक है, अदरवाइज मैं इसके बारे में कुछ थॉट बनाता हूँ, क्योंकि अगर मैं प्रोजेक्ट दूंगा तो वो एक ही प्रोजेक्ट सबको दूंगा, फिर वो सबके लिए प्रॉब्लम है। हर एक को अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट्स देना इज नॉट माई टास्क और ऑब्जेक्टिव। तो जो आप हमारी कंपनी के लिए प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हैं उसमें से आप जो कॉलेज में प्रेजेंट करने वाले हो वो आप हमसे पूछ सकते हो कि सर ये प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते हैं, वो जब आप कर लोगे उस प्रोजेक्ट में, ठीक है। तो कॉलेज में आपने क्या देना है वो तो अभी आपने डिसाइड करना है, क्योंकि अभी तो वैसे भी आप फंडामेंटल्स कर रहे हो। तो आप उनको ये भी कह सकते हो कि भाई सिनॉप्सिस ऐसे कि अभी हम इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हैं, अभी हमारी फंडामेंटल ट्रेनिंग हो रही है, जब फंडामेंटल्स में हमारा प्रोबेशन पूरा हो जाएगा तब हमें एक प्रोजेक्ट मिलेगा लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोजेक्ट करने के लिए, तब हम आपको 2 महीने के बाद अपडेट कर पाएंगे। अभी हम आपको इतना अपडेट कर सकते हैं कि ये पहले 2 महीने का जो प्रोबेशन का हमारा टास्क है वो ये टास्क है। आप जाके अपने मेंटर से बात कर लीजिए एक बार,
ओके सर।
ठीक है।
थैंक यू सर।
और मेरा रिकमेंडेशन ये है कि कॉलेज प्रोजेक्ट्स को आप अलग ही रखिए, बिकॉज हमारा काम कॉलेज के प्रोजेक्ट्स बनवाना नहीं है, ठीक है। हम सिर्फ आपको एक्सपीरियंस दे सकते हैं कि जो हम बना रहे हैं उसमें आपने क्या काम किया, दैट कंट्रीब्यूशन वी विल आइडेंटिफाई। आपके कॉलेज के प्रोजेक्ट क्या दे रहे हैं वो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है,
ओके सर।
ठीक है।
हेलो सर।
हाई, वी विल कम टू यू वन बाय वन, ठीक है। अभी वैसे भी मैंने प्रोजेक्ट के डिस्कशन के लिए बोला था, दिस वाज नॉट रिलेवेंट टू प्रोजेक्ट डिस्कशन, ठीक है। इसके लिए मैं आपको दिप्ति डाउनग्रेड मार्क्स दूंगा अभी। नाउ आई एम गोइंग बैक टू द प्रेजेंटेशंस। था
Yes, sir. So can I see my presentation?
Yeah, you can share your presentation.
Yes, sir. So today, good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to present on the reverse shell concept. So here we need to understand the networking concept, networking between the two servers or two machines. So first we have this sending server, and here we have the client server. Sorry, the server which will be receiving that. So we have this 7 things which we have to look into. First one is the application. First the will come from application. It is like the sending computer will send some request to a receiving computer, and here both the servers are Kali Linux servers. So application is like the NCAT application which will be used to connect between the client and the server. Next, we have the presentation. It has various protocols on how to present the data. And then we have session, which has a series of session layers. And this application, presentation, and session are considered as one layer under TCP/IP.
Hita,
And
can I interrupt you for a moment? Do you have only one slide in the presentation, is it?
yes, sir.
Okay. I thought your screen is not visible. Anyways, you can continue, please.
Okay, sir. Transport, it has a default port numbers which will be ranging from 0 to 65,535. So it will automatically generate the port number, like when you use the AWS server, it will automatically take any one of the port numbers. And then we have the network layer. It has the IP address. So it will have some IP address, and it will contain the IP address of the sending server and also the destination of the IP, that is a receiving IP address. So it will contain 2 IP address. One is the source IP, that is the sending server's IP address, and another one is the client server, that is the server which will be receiving it. And then we have the data link, which will consist of the source MAC, which is the sending server, and we'll have the destination IP address, which will be of the default gateway, which will through which we'll have the linkage. And then we have this, then after this, sending server sends a request to the clients, sorry, the server or the receiving server. It will run like this. Like first it will go to the data link here, and it will check. Once the packet reaches the second layer of the machine, it checks for the following, like the MAC address of the, is it for this server, like the receiving server or something. And then it will go to the network layer. Once it checks it is for this server itself, it will go to the network layer. And in network layer, it will check for the destination IP. If the destination IP matches with this receiving server, then it will allow the network layer will allow to the next layer, that is the transport layer. And a transport layer will check on what port number should that website open or anything should connect to. And then I will show you a demonstration of the reverse shell concept. I will be presenting on the reverse shell concept.
Your screen doesn't seem visible. Only the presentation is visible.
1 second, sir.
Yeah, you have to stop the share and click on desktop when you share, or screen one or desktop, something like that would be displayed.
I will be presenting on the reverse shell concept, and I will be using Kali server for connecting it. So I'll explain each and every line of the code. I will be using the Kali server to connect the client and the server. So it's established a connection with the Kali server, I mean the app or the application. So I will be using the NCAT application to hack it. So here L is for listening and NCAT is a command. A will keep alive and B for verbose, and P is a port number which ranges from 0 to 65,535. And we have to take the port number about 10,000. So I have established the connection, it's listening, and this is the server and this is the client. We have to establish a connection between the client and the server. So let's connect it to the Kali server again, the server machine, so the client machine.